Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal Red Monday. Were you having fun yet? This is quite interesting what happened last night, as a matter of fact. What I think it was 8 or 9 p.m., the whole entire Bitcoin market just crashed, and pretty much everything else did too. If you didn't catch this on my Twitter, Telegram, or Discord, there was, $250 million in long liquidations in 1 hour. That's a lot. It typically takes a full couple of days or a full day at least, even a bad day at 24 hours, to be able to get that kind of wreckage or that kind of liquidation. It's unfortunate, but we'll take a look at big picture here, kind of jump into the backend data to see what's going on. This is the Bitcoin chart, by the way. Look at these liquidations at 42,200. Pretty bad there. So again, easy to say now, but try not to be a late long. Let's see what's going on here. We're going to just kind of discover what's going on here with Solana. Okay, looks like we got to reload this guy. Come on, baby. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and pull up our Solana chart and just quickly double check a couple of key factors and recognize that there's going to be some liquidations here too, right? Which we can see obviously right here. Let's go ahead and change this chart because I know we're a little bit more familiar with our other color scheme here. A little easier to describe the redness. Okay, so we can see right there at about $70.36. Those are those long liquidations I was talking about yesterday that need to be careful. Obviously, we didn't expect this to happen, but the truth is that was a target in the first place anyways, based on how much how much of a concentration we had right there at that level. Okay, so that said, we got some late shorts here, right about $75.30. That's not necessarily where they position. That just means that that's where the liquidation levels are accumulated. Keep in mind too, as well, we got some previous longs at about 61.30. I think that's a far-fetched to be able to hit those, but again, we have that same thing happen again. Never truly know. Speaking of which, I got the question here as well in my Discord, what happened? The likely scenario is this just being kind of a baked-in situation for preparation on the Fed meeting this week. And one of our members, I think, nailed it on the head, Eli Burton. I mean, it's absolutely 100% likely to me, again, this is just my personal opinion, that the CPI/Fed meeting thing essentially is going to occur here in a couple of days. If you're curious, we got the link in our Discord, of course, for the calendar, but the 12th and the 13th, we're going to have the Fed meeting. So just bear in mind that has a lot to do with the price action pulling back like it did here, okay? So, okay, let's jump into the charts and kind of see what's going on. To quickly note here with Solana, it's pretty straightforward, but really awesome too at the same time. In other words, we saw the price action pull back, same as Bitcoin, okay? So you can see Bitcoin dropping down pretty far. That was about 7.5% correction in maybe about 15 to 20 minutes, okay? So we saw that happen, and we saw a similar scenario here too, where we wicked all the way down to $64 for Solana. So anyone that had liquidation at level got pretty wrecked, okay? That said, though, the price action continued to go lower, just as Bitcoin did, right? We can kind of see a similar scenario. Bitcoin is pulling back even still at this point to 41,600. Now, when we look at here Solana, there's a solid amount of buying pressure right here at this $68 mark. So 68 is so far holding to be a pretty decent support level. Now, keep in mind, Bitcoin continues to drop. We could very well see the same thing from Solana, right? It has somewhat of a correlation. But the fact that it's rallied back here stronger than most other coins leads me to believe that we're seeing a strong amount of support at that 0.382 fib level, that situation there where the price action is likely to bounce off that level. Now keep in mind, some of our Elliott Wave scenarios are going to be thrown off with these liquidation levels here with these large candle wicks, so we won't worry about that today. But what we want to focus on is just knowing that this $68 mark, I think, is a strong, likely support level. So let's talk about the daily and work our way down really quick. We're still above this short-term trend line. So keep in mind here that we are in decent shape here as well, still holding above the 20-day SMA. Granted, the price could continue all the way down to $60 and still be okay according to this trend line, right? So you got to recognize that it doesn't mean the price isn't going to continue lower. It just tells us that in the big picture, we can go down a little bit lower and still be okay to be able to maintain this bullish trend, okay? So the bullish trend hasn't been discontinued whatsoever. It just implies that we have this nice correction, which is actually very healthy. We want to have a correction, not necessarily to wipe out all the liquidation or the longs, but to more so just kind of regulate the price action to get more volume at this range. And 68 so far has proven to be a decent support range based on volume. Taking a look here at these, this is the MACD here. It's diverging, big surprise, but it was previously converging, so that's pretty standard when we see this kind of a sell-off. Same thing with the RSIs too. Stochastic is swinging down. As I mentioned previously, the second one is more impactful. Obviously, we didn't see this Bitcoin correction of 7.5% coming. Like, again, we kind of expected a pullback, but not quite this severe, right? That said, though, this little second shift to the downside effectively gives us the indication that we're in this downtrend start. We're starting the downtrend. Okay. In other words, big picture, whenever I see a stochastic RSI swing for the second time, whichever direction, that carries more weight. I guess that's pretty much what I'm getting at here. All that together combined, we can see RSIs are pulling back. It's pretty standard when the price action plateaus right here at this specific level and then comes down. Okay, so again, the sky is not falling. The daily time frame is still looking neutral to bullish. Okay, 4-hour time frame, we can see we lost the 20-day SMA, but the 50 is holding. At the 50, in my opinion, on the 4 hours, a little bit more impactful. As I mentioned previously, though, losing the 20-day SMA is just kind of an eye opener, right? You just kind of, instead of like just being dazed in this this bullish uptrend, you kind of open your eyes like, okay, that's right. We're not moving up anymore. We are potentially moving down, so we just kind of pay more attention. Okay, so again, not a deal breaker, but still not great. However, it's still more positive than negative being above the other three. All right, that to me is just a good thing. We can look here at the RSI. We're now under 50 on the RSI. This is a bearish sign. Okay, there's no other way around it. Until we break back up over 50, there's a strong likelihood we could see the price pull back lower. Keep in mind, money flow index is extremely low. A lot of money came out of this coin, of course, because everyone sold their shirt off yesterday or last night. So what does this mean for us here? Well, we got some positive contributing factors because, again, when the money flow index comes down this low, let's look at the last time it happened. Right here and right here, okay? So the last two times the money flow index came down really low, the price action increased here, and the price action increased here, okay? That was roughly about 14%, and yeah, 14% corrections to the upside when the money flow index was that low. Okay, so I'm not saying the price cannot come down lower. I'm just saying that if the price were to recover from now, with the money flow index being as low as it is, statistically speaking, we have a higher probability of the price action going up than down at this point. Okay, now we might be late to the game already too, if you think about it, because the price has already kind of rallied up a little bit. So to me, when I see something like this, if I can catch it quickly, I'd be happy to jump in for somewhat of a quick scalp, right? But right now, me personally, I think it's a little late there to try to catch a long. I'm going to prefer to wait for the price action to stabilize a little more. But generally speaking, those are positive signs. Same thing here as well. Like, I mean, you see the common trend here too. See the second, not the first convergence, but the second convergence from stochastic RSI? It does the same thing every time. Not the first, but the second. Every time you see a second, which we are seeing now, the price action is more likely to rally, okay? Again, just little things that you kind of pick up over the course here. So my speculation is we will see a rally to somewhere in the $71 range, which we're almost already there. We're at $69.90. This might already be finished, okay? So again, the sustainability of that is not extremely high considering the fact that Bitcoin is on the downtrend, and we could see increased selling pressure from Bitcoin. So all the more reason to be very careful with your entry, but $68 holding as a strong support, plus those combining factors, that leaves me slightly bullish on the 4-hour. Slightly. Again, I want to emphasize that. All right. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and confirm that we are still in a situation here where shorts are reigning supreme, but also soon to end. In other words, lagging span is about 6 to 7 hours away from discontinuing itself. In other words, if you're in a short position, you should consider selling within about 6 or 7 hours based on the simple fact that the window of opportunity is closing. That's what this indicator is telling us. So again, with the conversion line being below the baseline, being below the cloud here, there's no real confirmational signs the price is going to recover. Okay, so in truth, even though we see some kind of, like I said, neutral to bullish news in the 4-hour and the daily, the better time frame to me is this here, kind of letting us know that we're on the wrong side of the tracks. We've broken below the cloud officially, and until we get back up above, in other words, in 12 hours from now, the price goes sideways and up a little bit. We can close today at $71. That would be a pretty nice case scenario there to potentially confirm a good long position. Okay. And again, I want to emphasize the word potential because we want to reevaluate. So how about this? What I'll do is I'll reevaluate Solana later today, like I've been doing, and we'll just make sure to see if we have a good entry at that point. Between now and then, maybe just agree with me that you won't FOMO in, and you'll be a safe conservative trader. How about that? Again, you don't have to be. Those are just things that I like to do in my trading community. We all do very well with that strategy. But generally speaking, it's okay. And in fact, I'm going to highlight this really quick because this is actually okay to look at this. We did take a stop loss from Terra Classic yesterday. Okay, 64% or 63 and 1. But we offset it with a nice chain link, short. Okay. So again, that for the most part, even itself out. But the key takeaway here is that Avalanche 111%, Bell 128, 129. These are all safe conservative trades. And what I want to get at here is that all of this activity, what happened yesterday, we only had one liquidation. Okay, and that was only 63%, not 100%. Okay, that was based on stop loss, not just the whole entire trade closing because of a forced liquidation, right? So again, I like to emphasize this because this is how you can sustain these types of movements by utilizing small position size and small leverage. Again, I have a signals guide here to kind of emphasize that if you're a part of my community, no more than 5% of your position per swing trade. And I know some of you people are probably thinking like, what in the heck is wrong with this guy? How's he ever going to make any profit? Well, I tell you what, we make tons of profit, and it continues to add up if you just look at all these trades that we've taken here. Okay, again, slow and steady wins the race. That's really what I like to focus on, and those are the important things I like to talk about. So I hope that you can understand that taking a loss once in a while is actually okay. This is completely normal. So either way, I hope that it didn't hurt you too bad and you didn't take a large position size, but I do not recommend that. And in this situation here, let's just wait it out. Let's talk a little bit later today and see if we have a confirmational sign to take a long position, or if perhaps a short would be consideration. We haven't broken bearish yet, so I don't see a reason to consider a short. And I think it's too late right now to consider shorting. You don't just flip from bullish to bearish instantly because of one nasty candle. All right, folks. Sorry, long and wordy today. Do apologize for that. I hope you learned something, though. Comment below if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, again, be sure to check out the best exchange in the world. Again, my personal opinion, you use the link down below. You get some healthy benefit rewards, no KYC, no VPN, trailing stop losses, adjustable moving targets. They have a fantastic setup there. Really be sure to check them out. Okay, thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.